was thinking and studying about these two topics, it came to my mind that most of resilience is based around us. It's not based around what is happening, and it is not based around how it happens to us. It's based around choices we made before the event happened. So today I would like to prepare you in a way that you will be ready and capable to move forward and really use your persistence to endeavor to continue. That is what today's lecture is about. It has been a long fight for my friends in the diaspora, and it has been a long fight for my beautiful family in Uganda, and it continues. It is about this time, 20 years, 30 years down the road, that it feels hopeless. Because you've worked so hard, why haven't things gotten better? I understand this thinking. So today we will work on our persistence and our endurance, because that is how mountains are moved. That is how we win the day. Not by one big show of force, but by little bits of continued work. And I know that's a lot less fun. Nobody's gonna make a movie about it. No one's gonna tell stories about how you continually had this protest over and over and over again with fewer and fewer people showing up. But that constant pressure is the only tool we have. We must keep the pressure on. And the only way to do that is to steel our minds, steel our hearts, and be convinced and baptized in the idea that our efforts matter. Maybe not in the moment, but they matter. So let us begin. I'm going to share my screen. Oh, Dorcas, if you wouldn't mind allowing me access to screen share, that would be wonderful.
Yes,
While she...
you are co-host, so you have permissions.
I will give it a go again.
Yes. Thank you.
There we go. Oh, you were so right. That one was on me. My apologies, Dorcas.
All right.
That was my mistake. Here we go. All right, off we go. Let's find the slides. All right, and let's view slideshow. Here we go. Resilience, a gift and a purpose. You may think that a purpose is something that we are given to do on this planet. But oftentimes our purpose is to learn and grow. It has nothing to do with a big event, and it has nothing to do with something that you practice forever to do. It has everything to do with your ability to choose what you want your life to look like and your ability to endure. So let's see how this goes. Before we begin, I would like to quote Mark Twain, a famous writer, philosopher, and just all-around amazing man. I need people to understand where I'm coming from before we begin this topic. A very personal moment just for me. Because oftentimes when I talk and when I speak and when I teach, I worry that people think that I am promising things I cannot give. So I want you to hear me when I say these I can promise. I cannot promise you a life of sunshine. I cannot promise you riches, wealth, or gold. I cannot promise you an easy pathway that leads away from change or growing old, but I can promise all my heart's devotion, a smile to chase away the tears of sorrow, a love that's ever true and ever growing, a hand to hold in yours through each tomorrow. This is what I can give. So as we go throughout our endurance and persistence lecture today, know that I am not promising sunshine and an easy path, but I am promising I'll hold your hand as we go. I will cry with you, and I will give you my true undevoted love. These are the things that I can give. So let us continue our lecture with those things in mind. When we come across a problem, it appears like a mountain, a behemoth of a wall of rock, just a sheet before us. It encapsulates our entire view. We can't see around it, we can't see over it. It is a large, massive thing. When we come across a problem that feels like this, and we're standing at the bottom or the beginning of trying to solve this problem, at the bottom, all you can see is a huge, insurmountable wall of rock. It holds your whole vision. It appears it is all there is in the world. From your perspective, at the bottom of the mountain, it is. When a problem is so large that it encapsulates your entire being, this is the feeling of the beginning of a solution. Our solutions come with time and patience, but it is anxiety-inducing. It is scary. It is frustrating, and it feels hopeless. So please, when you are at the bottom, looking at this huge problem, something that seems impossible for one person to do, remember what the view from the top will look like. When you solve the problem, when you get to the top of the mountain, you get to look out from the top, and you get to see that the mountain, you get to see not only the mountain you climbed, that big behemoth, you did it, you climbed it, you solved the problem. But when you look around, the world is so much bigger and more than you ever thought it would be. That wall of rock was almost nothing. It becomes small, and your power to overcome it becomes larger than life. You become that mountain. All right, as we approach the hill, or the mountain. I like hill better because I'm a skier and I enjoy skiing down hills. So, approaching the hill, an obstacle in our path begins with first approaching it. People don't often think about what's happened before the problem. They think about the problem itself, which is good. But for our purposes today, let us think about how we approach the problem. Now, there are two kinds of ways to take on this problem. We choose to take this obstacle on, or we are presented with an obstacle. A choice for approaching this obstacle, if you're choosing this problem to solve, if you've decided that this is a problem worth fighting, you, in your mind, you have chosen it. This may be taking a new job, asking someone out on a date. This may be speaking in front of people or honing your artistic talents. Choosing an obstacle is often a manifestation of a goal, and it is a marvelous thing. It is wonderful to choose which mountain you wish to climb. However, the opposite. When you are presented with an obstacle, this is when a problem falls in your lap, like losing a job, being injured, forced into a situation you didn't choose. These are when problems are presented, when the mountain is dropped on you. These are the two ways to approach a problem. You either choose a mountain to climb, or a mountain is dropped in front of you. Our approach, though different, does not affect our ability to conquer the problem. How we find ourselves at the bottom of the mountain only affects how we feel about it. If we choose our approach, we feel energized, excited to defeat the problem. When we are presented with a problem, we may feel anxious, unqualified, even scared. These are the differences in our feelings as we approach the hill. The mountain doesn't change, the way we approach it does. Our feelings and our feelings roll, there we go, in progress. How changing our view of feelings influence our motivation. It is vital for us to understand how we feel and why. These are excellent tools for growing and building and for conquering problems. Our feelings have purpose. However, they do not drive us. Again, I believe I have said this before, but I wish to illustrate this with a quick visualization program. Imagine that you're walking in a valley. And there are beautiful trees on either side, and you smell water. It smells beautiful and fresh. You come upon a beautiful pond, and you're so excited. There's little frogs. You can hear the croaking. You can hear the birds sing. It's magnificent. You look into the pool, and you see a red fish and a green fish and a blue fish. You see all these beautiful, amazing fish. Each fish is an emotion. Blue makes you feel joy, red makes you feel anger, yellow makes you feel happy. Now, imagine these fish in this beautiful setting. You are not the fish. You are the pond. You are the beautiful setting. The fish do not decide what happens to the pond. The fish do not choose how we react. The fish are there to help us, but they do not control us. Anger is not an acceptable reason to do anything. Happiness is no excuse to treat somebody different. We are the pond. We are not the fish. But they are necessary. Our feelings affect the way we do things. Our feelings take control when we are under pressure. We can never let our fish take control, but we must always listen to them. With that in mind, let us see how our feelings influence motivation. What is the difference in approaching a problem as opposed to being presented with one? How we feel about our preparation. When you cut right to the deep, when you choose a problem, you can prepare. People prepare to climb a mountain, take courses, they exercise, they buy gear, they have people assist them. We approach a problem the same way. Before making the goal, we make a list of ways to achieve it. We tell our friends and look for help. We educate ourselves. Our preparation is good. When a problem falls out of the sky, when the mountain lands on us, we are unprepared, we are unsteady, and we have no system of support. It feels like a failure is assured. Feels like there is no hope. And if you feel hopeless, if you feel like you cannot do it, the climb will be much harder. Oh dear. I'm not sure why that happened. Let's go back. Slideshow. There we go. Well, whatever. Because our feelings matter, and because listening to them can help us make good decisions, and they can even keep us safe, we must acknowledge the feeling of hopeless. We must acknowledge the feeling of anxiety, and we must acknowledge that they make sense in that moment. When a mountain falls on us, it makes sense to hurt. If we didn't hurt, there'd be something wrong with us. We hurt because we are scared and we want to do what's right. It is a good thing. It is a good human thing to feel this. But we cannot let it control us. So, how we feel about our chances of success matters. Feelings are so important to our ability to tackle a problem. 60% of the time, if we feel unsure about it, we don't even approach it. Eleanor Roosevelt, again, one of my favorite people to quote, one of the wives of our great presidents, said, "We never try to fail. We often fail to try." We must respect our problems, our feelings, and honor them. But if they control us to the point where we do not try, failure is assured. When we do our best and we try, we always have a chance. It might be slim, it might be small, but there's always a chance. When we choose not to try, there is zero chance. We have closed the door on that. And that might be the saddest thing of all, especially when it's something important. Acknowledging it. Now, if I may, I'm going to give you a quick 1, 2, 3 about how we can acknowledge our feelings. take pride in them, respect them, but not allow them to take control. First, we acknowledge our feelings, and we're grateful for what they are trying to show us, because they are trying to show us things. If you feel angry, look inside you and find out why you feel angry. You may say, because this person insulted you. It's like, yes, this person did insult me, but why did that insult make me angry? Think about it. It made me angry because I'm worried it might be true. Or I'm worried somebody else will think negatively about me because of that person. Or I'm worried that this insult might come around again and again and constantly hurt me. But if you take away all of it, except for the feeling and why you feel it, it's no longer about an insult. It's no longer about the person who inflicted harm on you. It is about you and why it made you angry. From there, you can choose your response. My favorite is to just smile and walk away. That person who insulted me, good for him. They can insult me all they want. They cannot harm me. I might feel that anger because of the reasons I said, but they do not get to control what I do next. They're trying to make me angry, and when they find they cannot succeed, that is power. When they find they cannot succeed, that is power. Nobody can make you feel anything unless you decide they can. This is so important to understand, especially in politics. Most dictators and despicable people will spend their time tearing you down, making you feel small, trying to make you angry, and if they can't, you win the day. They are trying to make you sad, feel hopeless, like there is no chance, but you know that they don't control how you react. You know that you can find hope, that you can find help, and that if they're trying to make you feel helpless, then they're scared of you. They can't think of any other way to win the day except for make you feel hopeless. They are scared of you if they insult you. This is truth, and write it down. People who use anger to lead or hate to lead, their greatest fear is a happy population. Their greatest fear are people who cannot be swayed by anger or hate. Their greatest fear is that we stand up and become a community without them. Leaders it is difficult to unseat a leader, but the best way to do it is make them outdated and obsolete. When you don't need them anymore, they go. They have to. Now that's impossible in a lot of ways. Just keep it in mind. Build your communities. Make yourself intellectually and emotionally strong. Don't let them in and make you angry. They don't deserve that power. You deserve your own power. All right, next we're going to reflect on instances when you have conquered similar problems in the past. Remind yourself how capable you are. Yes, a big mountain just fell on you, and it's heavy, and it hurts, and it's hard. But do you remember the last time a mountain fell on you? Because this isn't the first time. We are adults. We have mountains fall on us all the time. Last time, I made this mistake and this mistake. But I still made it to the top. I can do this. I can do this because I've done it before. And yeah, it wasn't wholly successful last time, but I know how to fix it this time. Remind yourself, you are so capable. You can do this because you've done it. Finally, decide if you're willing to feel uncomfortable, because climbing a mountain is not comfortable. You have to be okay with the fact you're going to be uncomfortable. If you decide you are willing to feel uncomfortable, scared, and frustrated, decide if the top of the mountain is worth feeling like this. There are some mountains that individually, just for you, are not worth climbing. There are some mountains that are not worth climbing. Those mountains are the ones you choose not to climb. You choose to just let that mountain be there and you walk around it. This is okay. Some you have to no matter what, but some you can choose not to. But if you choose to climb, and you're going to feel uncomfortable, scared, and frustrated, if you choose it and you remember you chose it, you reflect and remember the last time you did this and it worked out okay, and you can do better this time, and you acknowledge those feelings of anxiety and depression and those scary things. There is no mountain you can't conquer as long as you keep trying. Dripping water hollows out a stone, not through force, but through persistence. Now we get to the meat of it. We have chosen to climb this mountain. We know it's going to feel uncomfortable and hard. We respect our feelings. However, we've done this before. We can do this. We have chosen it, even if it just dropped out of the sky. Our feelings create a view of a mountain. It is time to stop looking at it and start climbing. Through the mountain, though the mountain looks rugged and daunting, the only way to get over it is to just start. Sometimes it's hard to find out how to start, but you just take one step. If the problem is that you are trying to help somebody with a legal battle, take one little step. See if you can find a lawyer. Or learn about what they're doing. Take one little step. One little step. Understand why they got arrested, or understand what the charges might be. One little step. One little step. Or even just visiting them and saying that you're with them. One little step. One little step. One drop. One drop. One drop. And eventually we will bore a hole through the rock and get to the other side of the problem. Mixed metaphor. And more mixed metaphors. One of my favorite sayings is, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Now, why you would eat an elephant, I don't know. But it's a good image. If you have this giant elephant and you have to eat it, how do you eat it? One little bite at a time. How do we dig a hole through the water, through a rock? One drop of water at a time. One little step. Before you know it, you'll have made real progress. And this is very true. It's important to reflect on where you have been before. As you climb this mountain, step by step, little step by step, little drop, little drop, little drop, you will be able to look back at your footprints and see just how far you've come, just how amazing you are. And you will also see that it has taken you to places you didn't expect. Before you know it, you will have made real progress. Reflect on that often. Look back often and see how far you've come. Build yourself up. Feel good about it. Yes, there's more to go, but look back and see how far you've come. See the progress. Even if it's just this much, it's this much progress. You're this farther than you were before. And that matters. That means that you have conquered this much of a mountain, something huge, something hard. You conquered this much. That deserves praise. Now, no matter how small the step is, no matter how small progress feels, it's still progress. And it's those little wins, those little bits of progress that when stacked upon each other, get you to the very top. Erica Young said, as long as I'm facing the right direction, it doesn't matter the size of my steps. I love this quote because so often our steps are tiny. They're just minuscule, and it feels like you put so much effort into making that step, and it feels so daunting and scary. But as long as we have the right goal, it doesn't matter how small the steps, we're moving towards it. We're making progress. We are conquering that problem. When the trail becomes flat on our journey, You seem to be doing the same thing every day without getting any progress. It's time to put perseverance to the test. Just keep going. Those flat moments are very difficult. When you feel like you're just making copies and writing speeches and talking to the same people over and over and over again, it's that flat line. You feel like there's no progress. That is so difficult when trying to conquer a problem. That is when your persistence must kick in. That is when we must just keep going. Because if you stop, you slide down the mountain. And that is not something any of us want. When the trail becomes vertical and almost impossible to climb, every day feeling harder and the pressure is on your chest and more impossible than the next, it's time to put perseverance to the test. Just keep going. There is tiny progress. Don't slide down the mountain. Just keep going. Gain your strength from your friends, from the things that give you peace, and just keep going. When the trail is washed out, completely impossible to see, or completely blocked by a large boulder, every day getting lost or making the wrong choices, due to lack of information, it puts perseverance to the test. Just keep going. Everyone gets lost sometimes. Everybody's path gets blocked by something enormous and insurmountable. Find a way around the boulder. Make choices, take steps in different directions until you refine the path. And just keep going. This is how you get to the top. It's not strength, it's not courage, it's not intelligence. It is simply determination and perseverance. More people succeed because they just keep going. There we go. Oh. There we go. Sorry, I missed a slide. Okay. Come what may, all bad fortune is to be conquered by endurance. A quote from Virgil, a famous philosopher in the Greek theater thousands of years ago. No problem cannot be solved by endurance and change with new information. I added the change with new information because sometimes we're conquering a mountain we thought we wanted, and we find out with new information that that's not the mountain I should be on. You're pointing in the wrong direction. In which case, transition. New information, when it comes to light, when you know it's true, if you continue on that mountain, you're going to climb a mountain and then there'll be nothing at the end. There's an old proverb that says, when you get on the wrong train, get off at the next stop, because the longer you wait, the more expensive it'll be to go back. Do not stay on the mountain if it is the wrong mountain. But if it is the right mountain, there is nothing you can't accomplish by simply enduring and persevering. This is a great quote by Homer, another Greek philosopher. I love this one so much. It's how I live. It's one of the ways I live my life. Better to live or die once and for all than to die by inches. This means it's better to jump in with both feet than to just little bits at a time. Because who wants to just halfway do something? This is not what we're here for. We are here to take what we want and our passions and go full throttle. To do it, live or die, once and for all. Not to just die by inches. Small decisions not to climb mountains result in small deaths. Live a life of diving in with everything. If you must die, do it all at once, instead of small bits of yourself dying with every compromise or choice to hold still. Choosing to hold still is one of those little deaths. Choosing to let what happens happen. It's one of those little deaths. I don't want to die by inches. I will live a life, and I will live it with both feet jumping in. Endurance is not just the ability to bear a hard thing, but to turn it into glory. William Brace Clay. Anyone can endure hardship if they try. But great people, truly great people, turn that hardship into success, into progress. And if you are truly great, one of the most top-tier, impressive people, you will turn that hardship into art, the true glory of mankind. Art, if you can turn what you've been through into music, turn it into paintings, turn it into the written word, turn it into art, that is when your greatness shines. That is when we have reached it. We have reached the top. Our lovely President, Bobi Wine, has turned his hardship into art. It is one of the reasons I support him so much. Those who take their greatness and their abilities and turn it into speeches and profits, I will not decry them, but they are not the truly great ones. The truly great ones see the beauty of humanity, and that is shown through art. The beauty of humanity is what keeps us all safe. When those in power see humans as marvelous, beautiful, and things to be protected, that happens through art. Be truly great. Be truly great and create something that has no chance of making a lot of money. You're just doing it because you love it. Make something, build something, draw something, write something that doesn't have anything to do with anything except for who you are. Art is what will last for eternity. It is the way to express who you are as a human on this planet. And in the great fabric that is humanity, each thread being a human, your piece of art is what you will contribute to the whole. That is the color you bring. That is the little bit of stylized art that you get. Take these mountains, climb them with vigilance, with excitement, no matter how difficult. Climb them with perseverance, climb them with endurance, and then get to the top and see the beauty that is humanity. See it in its fullest light. See how marvelous each individual person is. See it, take it into your heart, and you create something that shows that you see it, that shows how you see it. You are an individual universe unto yourself, and the way you see things matters, and we deserve, as humanity, to see your truth. We want to see it. Climb the mountain, see the beauty, and then share it. On that note, I will end my lecture here. I went a little bit fast because we were running a little low on time, but because despite my desire to be intellectual and share my knowledge with others, I will never ever stop playing games and finding joy in the small things. And if you'll notice in my lecture today, there were chrysanthemums, that's the name of this flower, in every single slide. Because I love chrysanthemums. And sharing them with you makes me happy. Aren't they beautiful? Okay, with that, I will go ahead and stop my share. And we can answer some questions. I do have a little bit. Oh, wait a second. So, where's the little thingy? Okay, excellent. With all that, I know I touched on a lot of different things. And I'm hoping that you took something away from it that elevated you and helped you understand resilience and our perception of it. Do we have any questions? I would be more than happy to answer. I have about, we can call it 12 to 15 minutes.
Wow, thank you so much, Teacher Katie, for that. Well, I hope you guys have taken something away, and let us give people a minute, less than a minute, so we can take a batch of, uh, you know, uh, questions, and then roll the mic over to you, Teacher Katie. Thank you so much. Oh, guys, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ugandans, I hope nobody is thinking of giving up on that climbing, because we are in the process of freeing ourselves from captivity, from the dictator, and it's that endurance, it's the persistence, and we are climbing that mountain together. Let's leave no man behind. So let us fight. Guys, we have seconds. I will unmute and let's all give, and then we roll the mic back. Comrade Ismail, please, do you have just seconds if you can come in? I see Anen, Sister Mimi, LM. I'm unmuting. Yes, Comrade Ismail. Just seconds, please. Be brief.
Yes, I want to thank our teacher, Teacher Katie. Thank you very much. Brilliant as always. I've taken some notes. What was the name of the flower again? Chrysanthemums.
Teacher, you're muted. Sorry, she's muted.
Oh, sorry, Teacher Katie, you're muted as you do.
There we go. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, and I love that you want to know the flower. Hello, how are you?
Yes, we're here. We're all listening in the background. Say hello, Teacher Katie.
Hello. Hello. What is your name?
So these are the kids we born in the struggle.
He was born on the day we were doing our first Zoom.
Yes, we were on Zoom when he was born. That was the 12th of the 12th, 2022. It's actually the same birthday as His Excellency Bobby Wine.
Oh, that's marvelous. Oh, I'm so glad he was here. I didn't know I was speaking to such an important audience.
We're here in the background, yes, listening in. But yes, thank you very much for always being eloquent as always.
And it was called a chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum. All right.
Chrysanthemum.
Yes, thank you very much, Comrade Dorcas, and everybody. It's very nice to see you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Yes, Comrade Eddie, Comrade Godfrey, come in seconds. Teacher, Comrade, I was going to say Teacher James. James, please do come in. Guys, the mic, we have seconds, and then we roll over to Teacher Katie. Yeah, so please take the mic, guys. Who is taking it? Don't be shy. Sister Demi, come on. Tell us. Oh, you're engaged. Great. Comrade Godfrey. Guys, the mic. Okay, let me give you a chance to unmute. I put the mic. Comrade James. There you go. I will enable other permissions as well. Comrade James, are you out fishing? Please speak to us.
No, I'm not fishing today. It's a kind of protest. I'm going at State Capitol this morning. We have a protest again. We are pro-life. It's a pro-life protest. So I'm going there as a public health person. I'll talk as a public health person there. I'll go this morning, but I think I want to give Katie a challenge, and not only Katie. I want to challenge Ugandans. You know, Katie, we are being taught every day. The number of classes we're having, schooling or teaching is not working for Ugandans. It is funny. I'm like, how do we get Ugandans? As I speak right now, we have received 40 Ugandans across the US in different universities who have come for the Mandela Washington. All this is to try to elevate, but we have kind of put mountains before ourselves. Katie, I'm interested in seeing that some of this, like the leadership school, produces people who are going back to Uganda. That used to be a condition that we are teaching you, we are giving you a scholarship on the condition that you are going to implement. Show us how, because Uganda is not short of. I am just trying to think of how do we design the teaching that is going to empower.
That is
we are just happy to receive this from you, and we are proud. Yeah, Katie came and taught us. For me, that it's not working. So how do we change this? That you have made a disciple today. That you have made disciples. That's what I want to hear. Because Ugandans are just online here just to tell you, to deceive you. If this thing was working for us, change will be in Uganda. Resilience, you're teaching us, yes. But I mean, Katie, Uganda is just not working for the elites. It's a challenge for all of us. For me, I'm not even asking you a question, but I'm like, how do you get the people? How do you choose the people to take in this? Thank you.
You raised some excellent points. And the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter how educated you are. If you don't share it or use it, it is a waste. And when you send so many to different places to get educated so that it might empower the whole of Uganda, and they come back and either they don't have the resources to implement anything, they get frustrated, or worse yet, they just work for the elitists. That's not working, and you're right. What we need to work on, any community needs to work on, whether that's Uganda, US, whatever, we need to work on empowering those who are educated to be able to utilize what they have. They can't come to Uganda and then educate if they don't have a place to educate. They can't come back to Uganda and be a doctor if they have no practice. They can't do these things. We have to empower them. We have to build our communities in such a way that we value education, that it becomes part of who we want to be. Instead of just living little bit by little bit by little bit so we might survive, we have to change our hearts. We have to change our minds. We have to do as Martin Luther King said, and have a qualitative change of heart and a quantitative change of minds. We cannot pull ourselves up by education alone. That is not realistic. It is a good step, but unless the community rallies around the education, unless we build a desire to see this education, unless we give them a platform, unless we give them resources, that they will wilt like a chrysanthemum in the fall. It is our job as teachers to give the information, but it is your job as students to use it. You must utilize what you know. You must share it, even if it's just with one other person. Now, this education, it takes time, it takes energy, it takes endurance, it takes perseverance. But if you come to US and you get an education in Western medicine, you go back to Uganda, you show people that you have that knowledge, and then you come up with a plan to use it. You don't just sit there waiting for somebody to give you the opportunity to practice what you know. Then we will have success. But it is so hard. And we educate our youth, and they're so young, and they make silly mistakes, because we all do when we're young. And those types of things, unless they are properly supported, they will wither and die. Just because you're educated does not mean you are wise. We must give our wisdom and help those who do desire to be educated, so that when they come back to Uganda, they can use their education in a way that is wise. So let's take our lovely educated humans and our lovely wise adults and come together to create a Uganda that works. Because otherwise the rich people are just going to pay the doctors and they're going to get lots of money, and that's all we did. All we did was get a good doctor for a rich person. And that doesn't work. We have to build our communities. We have to build strength, and we have to build pride in Uganda. People need to be proud to come back home. And pride doesn't come from having things, and it doesn't come from like being the best at anything. Pride just comes from the fact that I come from a place that is so neat and unique. It's the best pineapple in the world. How are you not just telling everybody that? That is my favorite part of Uganda. Those pineapples are so sweet. And the bananas. You can grow anything. You have so much pride. Things to be proud of. Let us build pride in communities so that those who are educated come back excited to share it with the community, not just to make a lot of money. Otherwise, you're right, it doesn't work. But that's true here too. I hope I answered it even a little bit. You have very, very difficult questions. But I do my best, and I try to at least give you a little bit something to think about, hopefully. So thank you, James.
Yeah, thank you very much, Teacher Katie, for your presentation. My name is Ellen Prezo. Dorcas, can you confirm that I can be heard?
Yes, you're loud and clear. Just briefly.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much, Teacher Katie, for your presentation. It's like just to add a little bit of what you've said in your answer to Dr. Mungadi. Information and knowledge is very important, because as we are here on this platform, we have people from different backgrounds. We have people from different backgrounds, and people are going to consume knowledge differently. The information I may be sharing may not be important to person A, and it's going to be important to person B. Secondly, with the information that you share, I believe we live in a society that is connected through technology. You don't have to be in Uganda. But like you said, the people here on this platform that attend these sessions, if they don't really transfer the knowledge that they have acquired through Teacher Kate and any other person that facilitate these sessions, then that information will only be helpful to you as an individual. It's like fire. When fire is lit on one dry grass, it's going to spread. It doesn't mean that someone lit up the whole forest. But the wind keeps pushing that fire and then throws to different parts of that forest. What we do with the information that we get, how do we relate it to what we have in Uganda? How do we make it fit within what we have in Uganda is what's going to make this information so beneficial and important to revamp ourselves from whatever we're experiencing, let it be political, social, and economic. Somehow they're intertwined. The mindset, I came in a bit late, but I found you when you almost probably finishing your presentation, but I found you giving different analogies, and they were denoting to the mindset. If someone's mindset is not really aligned to what they want to become or what they believe in, they can never become what they want to become if their mindset is not aligned to what they want to become. Now, the barrier among the many other barriers that we have, maybe Teacher Kate, you can help us to direct us to how do we transform and change our mindset to make it strong in order to achieve whatever we want to achieve, either in our individual life or in a general as a country, Uganda.
That was a beautiful understanding of so many of the things I was trying to teach. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for putting it into terms that make really good sense. I will go out on a limb and say you are a talented orator or a talented speaker. I don't think it's going to be hard for you to start changing people's minds. Now, to your answering your questions. So, I will do my best to give you what I have. You can have anything I have, but what you do with it is your choice. And that's part of giving a gift like this. Now, getting people to change their mindset it's 4 steps forward and 100 steps back. It is difficult. What you must do is be an example. When somebody sees that a change in mindset has uplifted and changed you as a person, they ask you how you did it. So instead of coming to, you going to them and speaking to them and trying to change their minds, instead they see you and they see something they want. That's the best way to change a human heart. It's not always possible, and it's very, very slow going. And I encourage you to continue to go out and try and change minds and hearts. But when you're happy, and when you show people you love your country and you love the pineapple, and I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about it a lot because I'm going in July and I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. The first thing I'm going to do is eat a pineapple and then some bananas and then more jackfruit. But sorry, I'm just very excited about it. And I do not understand why the pride in Uganda is not there. There should be. Just because your politicians are horrible doesn't mean that you can't have pride in your country. And when you show people these things, you show people that you're happy and you're excited and you love this world and you are authentic in your speaking, that's what changes minds. And that's what changes hearts. And that's what changes countries. It takes a lot of time, but with your ability to speak clearly and with great passion, I suspect it'll take you a lot less time. So I'm sorry if I kind of rambled a little bit on that one, but I just wanted you to know it's possible, it's hard, but just keep going. You'll get there. We'll get there. Because to be fair, the US has some work to do too. So, but we'll get there, all of us together, as long as we choose it. Okay? I hope that helps.
Thanks. I hope you still have time. Godfrey, please come in very brief.
Yes, thanks very much, Dorcas and Teacher Kate and everyone here. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Now, the problem, Teacher Kate, we have is we've got a traumatized society where our young people are traumatized, they've lost hope. So you try to make sure you deliver the hopeful message to them, because when the country is young, have only got one way left to try to make things of their lives is to go in slavery. Yeah. Then means they have no hope. But you try to convince them that things will be okay. It gets hard. Yeah? But what you try to do is to try to understand them and be with them. Then you can keep in bringing this message we learn, what you teach, and you throw in bits and pieces, not wholesale. It's like carrot and stick. Then they get the hope that, yeah, you have to be proud of. It's not that they are not proud, yeah, but they haven't seen a good role model until His Excellency Chaguran came to sin, yeah, because they saw politicians as a parasite, yeah, who are only after their own well-being and their families. So it's taken a bit of time. 5 years might seem a long time, but it's a short time in to change people's mind in a traumatized society.
Thank you.
Go our young who are in mostly in the Middle East, they are traumatized, but in the end they go home and they will get there. I won't take much time. Thanks very much to Jacket and everyone.
Thanks, Comrade Godfrey. We'll take Sister Mimi and then another hand, then we give Teacher Katie. I don't know if we still have a few minutes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Say, Sister Mimi, please come in briefly.
Yes, thank you so much. And Teacher Katie again. Thank you for the wonderful, wonderful lecture. Mine is going to be kind of in a response to Dr. Mugeni and what he was saying and connecting it to what Teacher Katie is saying. One of the very problems we have, especially with us Ugandans, I would say this, and I'll give an example of one person I invited to one of our classes in the American leadership class, and this is what he had to say after that lecture. And the lecture was about commitment and volunteerism. So this is what he had to say, that that's why I hear more of reading what's in the books than reality. You see? So the problem with us Ugandans, and this is a general thing, is that we hear these concepts, which are very good, but how do we connect them to our reality? That is where the problem is. And the problem is here. And I'll start with the people who are learned, meaning people who have gone to school, had all this formal education, is that they get these concepts, but they cannot transform those concepts to tailor them to an average person where they can understand how they can connect. And then also when we go to school, we are more concerned about getting the certificates, the degrees, the everything. But in reality, you come out of there, applying that in your environment is not there. Then we have those people who have experience. They may have some education, they may, attain those achievements in education, but they lead by experience. Now, when you lead by experience, then any person, like for example, we had this beautiful lecture, they will not come and attend because they know they are experienced. They are experienced. Why should they come and listen to this? So these are the people leading in our environments, whether in Uganda, whether in the diaspora, and they cannot even encourage their own chapters, their own, people they lead to go and attend such a lecture so that they can get education. So the disjoint of us being able to understand these concepts, tailor them, because anytime you get a concept, you have to tailor it. Like, for example, Teacher Katie talked about resilience. Resilience is the capacity to withstand. There is a lot of things we have to withstand in this struggle. And you have to understand how you can withstand. You have to adapt to. There are certain things you've got to adapt to. You have to recover from challenges. How many challenges but do we know how to overcome these challenges, or do these challenges continually get setbacks? Yeah? All these things. So being able to reconcile the concepts with and putting those, we need this knowledge. You need this knowledge, because unless somebody come and teaches you how to resist, how to stand up, how to deal with these setbacks, deal with challenges, you have to have that knowledge. You cannot say, because I went to school, because I have experience, and then also tailoring it, sharing that information with those people that you lead, with those people who are in the villages who don't know anything about resilience. It takes these lessons, attending these lessons and understanding. And that's where we always say that what you've learned, go and replicate another person. We stay with that information ourselves in our own cocoons, and it stops there. So That's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much, but we do appreciate Teacher Kelly, and I hope it doesn't stop here in this. Otherwise, it will stop on our spaces. We'll talk about resilience in our spaces. If we cannot connect it to reality, it will stop where we are, like here.
So true.
Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, sis. Demi, quickly, please. How are you? Please do come in.
I am okay. Good afternoon, Katie. Thank you for all your lectures. I can ask you for the person to broadcast your slides, please. And definitely the way it's going, Uganda, we need a plan. And Katie, you've said it, or whoever said it before. I've heard it on YouTube today, whereby we are more of excuse. We give more excuse. But for me, sometimes I'm like a strategist. I believe in two things: never accept defeat. And the second is like a beggar doesn't have any choice. It's like I have to seek and seek for answers. I have to try always to find a way through. So we are like stuck there. We give excuse, or we are under this. But then we start about history. How did Mahatma Gandhi get rid of the British? How did the Berlin Wall fall? Apartheid. We've had so many people. We read Cambodian. They were under dictator. We are not the first. How did Tanzania become to have the past 4 presidents? So I think we want victory in abundance, but we forget it might come by slowly. We can get there. We are not giving bad criticism to anybody, but we are just adding to something that we can help those people with the resilience. It's like we had Sadaman Makebe, a young man who has been in UA. He went back to Uganda. He's been invoked on the social media. And that is a very, very good one, because all he needs is our encouragement. But how do we give it? It's like in Uganda, we are too conservative. We become too negative, and attack, and we don't accept the people who have got different approach. So this study can help us to develop resilience and also to help others. We are in a revolution. We might come across different, but we need to encourage each other, because Katie, I find it very difficult that when somebody comes here and we say their heart and say, you see, I feel very bad, I've given up, or the results for the youth were not very bad. Other people, they come in on board straight away. You shouldn't say like that. Oh, why? They are trying. So we need to encourage each other. We need to uplift. You don't leave any fallen soldiers. Otherwise, wonderful. I look forward. I don't know if Saturday I've got work. I've got to look forward to listening to you again.
30 seconds.
We should be used to speak for 30 seconds.
Exactly.
Well, it's called elevator speech. I've been trained in that also, I know. But Doctors, there are things. I have liked what Demi has said, and right now, I wanted. This is, to me, sounds like good news for me. I have been invited to attend President Donald Trump's speech for the 250 years, and I am asking myself, why me? But then I look at myself, the role I'm contributing to America, because I knocked for more than 1,000 doors for him. Right now, my House rep is standing for governor, and I'm like, this House rep, the person I know. Now, yesterday on Friday, on Friday, I went to work for him, and all we did was distribute. They call them, in Uganda, we call them sweets. These people call them, they're not sweets.
Candy.
How do you call them?
Candy.
Candies. We distributed the candies, walking miles and miles distributing candies, and then the American flag, and we had thousands of constitutions. Then I'm like, is this what it takes to become a governor? A governor is a president. Then I'm like, I think, why am I being exposed to this level? I'm asking these things and I keep asking, I'm challenging Ugandans, the people who are going to lead Uganda in America. Because the state where I am, we are 3.1 million people. It has 3,000 stadiums. Yes, it has 3,000 stadiums. It has 947 cities. Now, how do I start telling somebody in Uganda other than send myself? You people, I'm telling you this, don't get surprised when you hear me start talking like a president. Don't get surprised. I mean, this is why we are here, to create this impact, to change our people. I mean, I feel empowered. I mean, who am I to be invited by Donald Trump? Who am I? And this is not the first time they invited me. They invited me for the inaugural speech, but I couldn't go because of poverty. I'm just too poor in America. Yesterday, I got a proposal from home, from Busia. They're asking me that they want to address girl child, whatever, in the mine, in the gold mine. I'm like, but how a person who is sending me a proposal is a lawyer? You are in the gold mine, 12 trillion US dollars worth of gold, and you want a funder from US. Then I'm like, maybe I should go back and lead, because there are things now that just being in America has changed my perspective of thinking. Experiential learning from the streets. The things that make, I mean, if candies can attract people, for us who have made elections the other side very expensive, but here are candies. A child is with a bucket on the road with a father or a mother, and you are giving them an American flag and a constitution. I'm like, is this simple? Well, I'm excited because I've been invited by that. I just wanted to share that with you. And I was asking David, what do you say? You didn't answer. Thank you. And Katie, this is what we want to see, that the Ugandans who are here are for transformation. And thank you for teaching us anyway.
Ellen Prezo, seconds, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Katie, this is just on a lighter note. As you mentioned, jackfruit and pineapples and all those other fruits that you're going to enjoy in Uganda, it is quite interesting, and it's really good that you choose to go to Uganda. This is why Uganda was referred to as the Pearl of Africa. It's around the equator. Uganda is a beautiful country, and there's no question about that. With the weather, the food is organic. So every time you go back to Uganda, at least try something new. Many people will talk about borders as the means of transport. They will talk about other things. So when you're in Uganda, try on everything, but make sure that you keep yourself safe, because we still want to see you here. The problem that we have in Uganda are not all those things that we can talk about. It's not about food, it's not about the fruits, it's not about the weather.
Thank you.
The development and the growth of a country starts and ends with the leader. The people, the citizens contribute. Dr. Mungadi is very proud, and I normally use him as an example because of the work he does in the US, where he chooses to engage in activities that are going to cause that change where he lives, because all the services that he'll be getting and his family are going to be provided for and determined by those leaders that he put in office. So what Dr. Mungadi is trying to do is to write his name on the table of those people that are going to make those decisions, that when they call about the volunteers that you have supported those leaders to get in those offices, Dr. Mungadi is considered and is doing voluntarily. Now, we want that kind of energy that Dr. Mungadi is contributing in the US to trickle that same energy back in Uganda, because that's where our heritage is. It doesn't matter where you are. Dr. Mungadi and all of us here must engage in the places where we come from. It doesn't matter where you are. You have a relative, you have a friend, you have families. That change that we want to have a Uganda look more than the America, all those states that my friend Dr. Mungado always referred to and proud of. We must ensure that we put up leaders that are going to transform societies.
Thank you, comrade.
Leaders that are going to be accountable to their citizens, not only using them as pawns to enrich themselves. So it goes back to the mindset. How do we use the mindset to see that that diamond in the dust, the price of that diamond is the same as the price of that diamond in one luxurious store in London, because the price of that diamond was already stated. How do you turn Uganda into the America that you see today? It's about the mindset. I submit.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Teacher Katie. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course. I first would like to address the problem of hopelessness among the youth. That was stated early on in this conversation, and that's true. And the worst part about hopelessness in the youth is they don't have the experience to understand or the perseverance to move forward in a hopeless society. Hopelessness is one of the great killers of society, especially when it's based around the youth. One of the many things that I do when I go to Uganda is I have a small school for girls who have found themselves in a difficult position. And this year I will be going and spending some time with them as well. I'll also be speaking with their parents. I have created a pamphlet, which I'm hoping to distribute to parents so that they can be better prepared to help their children feel less hopeless. And as I strive for this, and because as much as I love speaking with all of you, the most important thing I do is talk to the youth. The most important thing I do is make sure they understand how valuable they are just the way they are, and that there is always hope. And I explain to them the difference between feeling hopeless because of something somebody else did to them, meaning the dictator, or feeling hopeless because they don't feel like they're worth anything. I work on helping them feel and know that they are worth something. This way, they are at least prepared to try and defeat this dictator. They have strength of mind and emotion. These are the things that we must give to them. And it's so hard. It's so hard to show children that they are worth being loved, that they are worth doing things for, that they are worth building a society for, especially when, from their perspective, we have failed. We must teach them that one, failure is not always bad, and two, that they are worth trying for. So keep being resilient, keep pushing forwards, keep persevering, keep showing those children that you care. Other people might not, but you do. And that's a whole person. That's one more person who cares about them than they thought. Continue down this road. That is how you will move mountains. And then I apologize. There are many things that were discussed, and much of them were lost in my brain. So if I don't get to your question, I do apologize very much. But I do think that as we become educated, the real challenge is implementing what we've learned with wisdom and grace. Becoming the type of person who doesn't think they know everything. When you get educated, oftentimes you think you know everything. You think you no longer need to learn anything, that you are the authority, so you can just talk and do whatever it is you wish to do, because now you're the teacher. A good teacher is always learning and can always learn from somebody else. You are not infallible. I tell all of my students, whether they be children, adults, or even people who are much older than I am, I tell them always, I reserve the right to be wrong, because I am wrong often, and I will apologize, and I will learn more. But I will never stand by whatever wrong statement I said. Never, ever. once I find out I'm wrong, I will move forward. That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference between becoming a prideful, educated person and somebody who is truly educated, who matches their wisdom with what they have learned. That's what we have to try and do. That's something we can do for ourselves. That's something we must focus on as the diaspora, as educated adults. And as we take our wisdom and our intelligence, we find doors open. This is my reality. There's no reason I should be here speaking to you. I'm a potato farmer from Idaho. It's not, Idaho's a big state, but very small population. And there's no reason I should be speaking with you, but because I matched my intelligence with my wisdom, the door of opportunity opened for me. The door to educate those around us will open if we but continue down this path. Be wise in what you say. Do not ever condemn our youth. Those who keep saying that the youth are lazy do not understand them at all. And the youth will never listen to somebody who calls them things like that. Learn how to speak to them, and things will improve. At least for them. And if it improves for one person, it's worth it. It's always worth it. So I'm hoping that we can continue to change our mindsets away from, look at me, I'm so educated, I'm so smart, I'm so beautiful, I'm so everything. What does this accomplish except for aggrandize yourself? Does that make you any better than the dictator who forces you to aggrandize him? It doesn't. The difference between a real educated person and somebody who got educated as a badge of honor is humility and wisdom. I know I'm not the wisest person in the world. I know I'm not the most educated person in the world. And I know I'm not the smartest person in the world. But I have gifts, and I'm so glad I get to share them. Approach all problems this way. Change your mindset. Stop running up against this wall of, I don't know how to get through to them, or why aren't they listening to me? It doesn't matter. None of that matters. All that matters is that you are a good example. That's the one thing we can control. Everything else, doors will open, opportunities will present. And if it comes down to it, you can always make your own opportunities. You can always build your own little school like I did from a whole different country. These things are possible. You just have to be humble enough to let them. Let it happen. Well, I certainly hope that I was able to answer some questions. I certainly hope that my meaning and the understanding behind it was met with curious minds. And I certainly hope that what I have given today can be of some value and that you will find some purpose in it. So thank you, all of my friends in the diaspora. Thank you for everything. And I cannot wait to see my friends again in Uganda. I leave on the 7th, and I'm there till the 25th, and I'm bringing my son. And just so you know, I am aware of the dangers. It's really hard not to love the people there. So it's always worth it. And my son will be with me, and he's big and tall and broad-shouldered. That's all. All right, thank you so much, Dorcas, but I do have to leave. Thank you for the time.
Thank you Thank you.
Wow, wonderful. Thanks, Teacher Kate. Amazing. We must change Ugandans. If you have people like these ones who are fighting for us, we need to fight for ourselves. If you have someone who's beating a drum for you, you must beat it harder. If you have somebody who's crying for you, you must cry harder. You must cry much. So let's do it, Ugandans, to get our country out of dictatorship.